I was staring at my ceiling at 2:47 a.m., watching the light fixture sway, just slightly, back and forth. And I absolutely knew, that there was no wind inside my apartment. No reason for it to move. But it was moving anyway. This was 3 years ago, when I lived alone for the first time. Studio apartment in a converted Victorian house, split into 4 units. Mine was ground floor, which I specifically wanted. Felt safer somehow. The building was old but maintained. Hardwood floors, high ceilings, thick walls. My landlord lived 2 blocks away and the other tenants were quiet. An older couple on the 2nd floor, and above them, the attic unit had been empty since I moved in 6 months earlier. I worked nights back then, the server at a downtown restaurant. My schedule was backwards from everyone else's. I'd get home around 1 in the morning, and wind for an hour, then sleep until 9 or 10. It was actually peaceful. The house was always silent when I came home. Until it wasn't. It started with footsteps. I heard them the first time on a Tuesday night. I'd just gotten home, was heating up leftovers in my kitchen, when I heard someone walking around upstairs. Not the 2nd floor where the couple lived, higher. In the attic unit. Clear, deliberate footsteps. Walking from one end of the apartment to the other. I stood there with my plate in my hands, listening. The footsteps stopped. Started again, stopped. I told myself maybe the landlord was showing the place. Weird time for it, but possible. I texted him the next morning. "Hey, did you show the attic apartment last night?" "No," he replied. "Why?" I didn't respond. I felt stupid even asking. But the footsteps continued. Every few nights. Always around the same time, between 1 and 3 a.m. Always the same pattern, walking from one end to the other. Then stopping. I started tracking it without meaning to. Tuesday night, Thursday night, Saturday night. Never consecutive nights. Never the same duration. The couple on the 2nd floor were in their 70s. I'd see them during the day sometimes. Shuffling to their car. They weren't climbing into an attic apartment in the middle of the night. That was impossible. 3 weeks in, I heard furniture moving. Not dragging sounds. Not the screech of wood on wood. Just impact. Like something heavy being set down. Then silence. Then another impact. I grabbed my phone and pulled up my landlord's number. My thumb hovered over the call button. Then I stopped. What was I going to say? That I heard noises. That I thought someone was in an empty apartment. I'd sound paranoid. I'd sound like I couldn't handle living alone. I set the phone down. The sound stopped. I exhaled. Made myself tea. Put on a show I'd seen a dozen times, background noise to fill the silence. I was overreacting. Old houses make sounds. Settling. Pipes. The wind. I almost convinced myself. That weekend, I came home to find my front door unlocked. Not open. Unlocked. I specifically remembered locking it that morning. I had this routine: lock the deadbolt, check it twice, then leave. Every single day. I stood in the hallway, staring at my door handle. My hand was shaking when I turned it. Everything inside looked normal. Nothing moved, nothing taken. But I walked through my entire apartment anyway, checking closets, bathroom, behind furniture, feeling insane the whole time. I locked the door, checked it 3 times, but I couldn't shake this feeling, this awareness, like the space around me had been examined while I was gone. The footsteps happened again that night. louder this time. And there was something else underneath them, a dragging sound, rhythmic. Like someone pulling something heavy, pausing, pulling again. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to someone move through an empty apartment. Then I heard my name. Not shouted. Not called out. Just spoken. Quiet. Almost conversational. Like someone was standing in my kitchen talking to another person, and they just mentioned me in passing. I couldn't make out the full sentence. Just my name. Clear as anything. I grabbed my phone. I was calling the police this time. I didn't care how it sounded. But when I unlocked my screen, I saw I had a text from my landlord. Sent 20 minutes ago. Heads up, showing the attic unit tomorrow at 10 a.m. New tenant might move in next week. I read it 3 times. The unit was empty. Had been empty. Was about to be rented. So what the hell was walking around up there? The sound stopped after that text. Completely. That night was silent. I barely slept. The next morning, I stood outside at 9:45 a.m., pretending to check my mail. I wanted to see who my landlord was showing the apartment to. Needed to. He arrived at 10:03, alone. He unlocked the main door and went inside. I heard him climbing the stairs. His footsteps were distinct, slower, heavier than what I'd been hearing. Then I heard him unlock the attic unit. The sound carried down through the building. He went inside. He came back out 6 minutes later. Locked up. Got in his car and left. No one else showed up. I went back inside my apartment. Checked the group chat for the building. The couple on the second floor had added me months ago, though we rarely used it. I typed, "Did anyone else have an appointment to see the attic unit today?" The wife responded, "No, dear. Why?" I deleted my message. Didn't respond. That night, I came home at my usual time. I locked my door. Checked it. Locked it again. I sat on my couch, phone in hand, every light in my apartment on. The footsteps started at 1:32 a.m. But this time, they didn't stop at the attic unit. I heard them on the stairs. Coming down. Slow. Deliberate. One step. Pause. Another step. They reached the second floor landing. Stopped. Then they continued. Down to my floor. I was standing now, backing away from my door. I wasn't breathing. The footsteps stopped right outside my apartment. I stared at the door. At the deadbolt I'd locked 3 times. The handle turned. Slowly. Testing. It didn't open. The lock held. But the handle kept turning. Back and forth. Like someone was trying to figure out how it worked. Then it stopped. I heard footsteps again. Walking away. Back up the stairs. Up to the second floor. Higher. Back to the attic. A door closed. Silence. I called my landlord at 6 a.m. Told him I was moving out. He asked why. I said personal reasons. He didn't push. I was out within a week. The couple on the second floor helped me load my car. I almost asked them if they'd heard anything. But the wife mentioned how quiet the building had been lately. How peaceful. I didn't say anything. My landlord rented the attic unit 2 weeks later. A grad student. I saw the listing online. I checked the building's address on crime maps that night. Nothing recent. But I went back further, searched the property records, old news archives. Found something from 1987. A tenant in the attic unit died in the apartment. Wasn't found for 11 days. The article didn't include many details. Just that neighbors reported a smell. That the landlord at the time had to break down the door. I don't know if that's connected. I don't know what I heard. But I know what it felt like. It felt like someone was learning the building. Walking through their routine. Remembering where things were. And testing doors to see what would open. I live somewhere else now. Newer building. 3rd floor. I still lock my door 3 times. Sometimes I wonder about that grad student in the attic unit. If they work nights. If they've heard footsteps. If they've heard their own name spoken in an empty apartment. We tell ourselves that being alone means being safe. That locked doors and familiar spaces protect us. But sometimes the things that move through our homes at night aren't trying to get in. They're already there. Just waiting for us to notice.